A single AA battery can power a flashlight for hours, yet it's just zinc, carbon, and a paste of chemicals sealed in a metal can. Your phone's battery can survive thousands of charge cycles, but it's built from materials thin enough to fold like paper. An electric car battery can weigh over 1,000 pounds and store enough energy to launch it past 60 miles an hour in seconds. Yet it starts as loose black powder, and the tiny coin battery in your key fob is smaller than a fingernail, but can sit unused for a decade and still work the moment you need it. That shouldn't be possible. So how do factories turn raw metals, powders, and chemical pastes into the batteries that power billions of devices, safely, consistently, every single day? Let's step inside and find out. An AA battery looks almost too simple to be engineered. A metal tube, two ends, done. But inside that tube is a carefully layered chemical reaction designed to release energy at a precise, steady rate for years. And getting that balance right is far harder than it looks. It starts with two basic ingredients, zinc powder and manganese dioxide. The zinc will act as the negative electrode, the manganese dioxide as the positive electrode, and between them sits a paste-like electrolyte that lets charged particles move back and forth. Before any of this becomes a battery, it arrives at the factory as raw industrial material, sacks of fine metallic powder and drums of chemical paste, weighed out on precision scales because even a small imbalance in the ratio of zinc to manganese dioxide can throw off the battery's entire lifespan. First, a steel can is formed and coated on the inside to prevent corrosion, since the chemicals inside will sit in contact with that metal for years. Next, the manganese dioxide mixture is compressed into small rings under intense pressure and pressed directly into the can. This becomes the outer positive electrode. A separator, thinner than a sheet of paper, is inserted to keep the two electrodes from touching and short-circuiting, because if they ever make direct contact, the battery can overheat instantly. Then the zinc paste is injected into the center in a carefully measured dose. A brass pin is driven down through the middle to collect the negative charge and carry it to the battery's terminal. The can is sealed under pressure with a rubber gasket to prevent both leaks and the buildup of internal gas. And finally, the outer label is wrapped and the battery is stamped with its voltage rating. Always 1.5 volts, checked by automated sensors on every single unit before it ever leaves the factory floor. Here's the part most people never think about. If the separator between the two electrodes is even slightly misaligned by a fraction of a millimeter, the battery can short internally, overheat, or fail completely. Manufacturers run high-speed cameras and sensors on the production line just to catch alignment errors invisible to the human eye. Because at the scale these factories operate, even 1 in 10,000 defective units adds up to thousands of failed batteries a day. Every single AA battery is essentially a controlled chemical reaction, held in perfect balance by parts you'll never see. From loose powder to a sealed, pressurized, precision-tested cylinder, the AA battery is ready to sit on a shelf for up to 10 years and still deliver full power the moment it's needed, all from a design that hasn't fundamentally changed in decades. It's easy to overlook something this cheap and this common, but every single one that ships from the factory has already passed dozens of automated checks most people will never know exist. Your phone's battery works nothing like this one, and it's far more dangerous to get wrong. A lithium-ion battery can be recharged thousands of times without losing much capacity, something no AA battery could ever do. That kind of durability comes from a completely different, far more delicate manufacturing process, one that trades simplicity for performance. It begins with two thin sheets of metal foil, copper and aluminum, each coated with a slurry made of lithium compounds, graphite, and conductive additives. These sheets look almost like foil wrapping paper, except every micron of thickness is controlled to the tightest tolerance, because an uneven coating can create hot spots that reduce the battery's lifespan, or, in rare cases, its safety. The coated foils are dried in long ovens, then compressed under massive rollers to compact the material into a dense, uniform layer. This step alone can determine how much energy the finished cell will be able to store. Machines slice the sheets into long strips, which are then stacked or wound together with a microscopically thin separator between them. This separator is often less than 20 microns thick, about a quarter the width of a human hair, and it's the single most critical safety component in the entire cell. The stacked layers are inserted into a casing filled with a liquid electrolyte in a sealed, oxygen-free clean room, and then sealed shut under vacuum to remove any trapped air. Every single cell is charged and discharged multiple times during testing, checking for even the smallest voltage irregularity, capacity loss, or internal resistance spike before it's approved to ship. If even a microscopic piece of metal dust contaminates the electrolyte during this sealed process, it can create a tiny short circuit that isn't obvious right away, but can cause overheating months or years later, which is exactly why lithium-ion battery factories run some of the strictest clean room standards in all of manufacturing, in some cases stricter than hospital operating rooms. Workers wear full protective suits, and the humidity in the room is kept low enough that static electricity itself becomes a controlled variable. From foil and slurry to a sealed, tested power source, the lithium-ion cell is now ready to be packed into a phone, laptop, or power bank, ready for thousands of charge cycles ahead, quietly powering a life that runs almost entirely on rechargeable energy. Now scale that same chemistry up 1,000 times, and you get something built to move a 2-ton vehicle. An electric vehicle battery pack can weigh over 1,000 pounds and contain thousands of individual cells, yet it has to behave like one single, perfectly synchronized unit, with every cell aging and discharging at nearly the same rate. It starts the same way as a lithium-ion cell, foil, slurry, separator, but at massive scale, produced on production lines running dozens of meters long, non-stop, inside giant dry rooms with almost zero humidity to prevent the materials from reacting with moisture in the air. These facilities are some of the largest single manufacturing buildings on the planet, built specifically because a single battery pack requires thousands of individually finished cells. Thousands of individual cells are manufactured, tested, and sorted by performance. Cells with even slightly different voltage or internal resistance are separated out, because mismatched cells inside a pack can drain unevenly, reduce the vehicle's range, and shorten the life of the entire pack. The approved cells are grouped into modules, wired together, and fitted with cooling channels that circulate liquid coolant between them to prevent overheating during fast charging or hard acceleration. The modules are mounted into a reinforced metal tray, wired to a battery management system, essentially a small onboard computer, and sealed to be waterproof and crash-resistant enough to survive a serious collision without igniting. The entire pack is then tested under extreme heat, extreme cold, vibration, and simulated collisions before it's ever cleared to sit beneath a vehicle. A single one of these battery packs can contain more individual cells than several thousand phone batteries combined. And the onboard computer is constantly making thousands of tiny adjustments per second, redirecting current, monitoring temperature, and balancing charge just to keep every cell working in harmony and safe. From raw powder to a reinforced, waterproof, computer-monitored power unit, the EV battery pack is now ready to move a vehicle hundreds of miles on a single charge, all while silently managing thousands of chemical reactions happening at once beneath the floor of the car. Not every battery needs that much power. Some just need to last a decade in something the size of a coin. The coin battery in a watch or key fob is smaller than a fingernail, yet it's built to sit dormant for years and still deliver a steady, reliable charge the instant it's needed. Something far larger batteries often struggle to do. It's built from a lithium metal disc on one side and a manganese dioxide compound pressed into a tiny metal cup on the other. Miniature versions of the same core chemistry used in much larger batteries, just scaled down to fit inside something you could lose in a coat pocket. The manganese dioxide mixture is compressed into a small pellet under intense pressure, then placed into a stainless steel case that will become the battery's outer shell. A paper-thin separator is added, followed by a lithium foil disc cut to an exact diameter, often with tolerances measured in fractions of a millimeter. The two halves of the casing are crimped together under precise force. Too loose, and the battery leaks, Too tight, and it can crack the internal components and ruin the cell entirely. Each finished coin cell is voltage tested and leak tested individually, since even a tiny defect can't be caught visually at this scale, and a single bad crimp can go unnoticed until the battery fails years later inside a device. Despite being one of the smallest batteries made, a coin cell can hold a charge in storage for up to 10 years, losing only a tiny fraction of its capacity per year, largely because lithium metal reacts so slowly when properly sealed, which is exactly why it's trusted inside pacemakers, watches, and emergency devices that can't afford to fail. From a compressed pellet and a sliver of lithium foil to a sealed, crimped disc, the coin battery is ready to sit quietly in a device for years, waiting for the moment it's switched on. That's how AA batteries, lithium-ion cells, EV battery packs, and coin batteries go from raw powders, foils, and metal discs to the power sources running almost everything we touch. Precision, chemistry, and engineering most of us never think about until now.